Now we'll see all these terms one by one. We'll go through the steps and we'll make sure that we understand each and every step. Okay, we'll be starting with step 1, that is crushing and grinding of ore. What happens in this step is that ore which is got in the form of big pieces, or you can say big blocks, it is crushed, that is it is made into small pieces and then it is grinded. Like we grind chutney, there is a stone and with the help of our hand we grind. Similarly there are big grinders for grinding ores, just as a mixer grinder. Okay, so we can say that big pieces, or you can say the blocks. Okay, these are blocks of ore. Okay, these are crushed into small pieces. Okay, so you can say they are crushed into small by big crushers are there. Okay, in that crushers these blocks are put and then the crusher is rotated. You see they are formed into small pieces. Now the small pieces are formed, but as we know that as the surface area will increase, the reactivity will increase, that is the easier we will be able to obtain the metal. Okay, from big blocks it will be very difficult to carry out any chemical reaction. Okay, and the reaction will not be performed very smoothly. So what we do, first we make a uniform ore so that then we can use it conveniently. So after crushing the ores, they are sent to grinders, that is they are grinded. Okay, and then they are made into powder. They are made into powder. Now this powder is smooth, it's having a good texture and so it can be easily used. If we see that there are some lumps left, then what we do, we sieve it. Okay, the powder is taken and the cores again they are grinded, the coarse part is again grinded, then we get a powder. So for grinding we use stamp mill or ball mill. Okay, that is used for grinding, that is for making powder of the ore. So we can call it as powdered ore. So this was about the crushing and grinding of ore. The next step is step 2, that is concentration of or it is also known as dressing of ore, also called as benefaction of. So these are the different terms given for concentration of ore. In this step, the ore is concentrated, that is the impurities, they are removed. Impurities such as you can say sand, mud or some magnetic impurity. Okay, they are removed and then the ore is further processed. So how we can remove these impurities? We'll see that. First is by hydraulic washing. Okay, now in hydraulic washing what is happening? What we do, water is used and by that water the ore is washed. Now after the ore is washed, we'll see that the ore property, if it is having more density, it will settle down and the lighter density impurities, they will be washed away by the water. Okay, so this method is based upon the difference in the densities of ore and impurities. Now the one which will having lighter density, that will come with water, and the one which will be heavier will settle down. For that, hydraulic classifiers are used, or Wolfram table. These two are used. So you can say the apparatus used is hydraulic classifiers or Wolfram table. Now water flows from here. Ore is kept over here. Ore is added from this side. Now suppose I am drawing the settle down ore. Okay, that is having higher density. This is the ore which has settled down in this part. And the impurities, they go away with water because they are light. They go away with, and thus they can be removed. Here I am having both the impurity and the. So we can see in this way we can separate the ore. Okay, or we can say it as concentrated ore. Okay, and the impurities such as dust, etc., mud, they go away with water. Okay. So here that is impurity. Now which type of ores can be concentrated by this method? So we can say ores of heavy metals such as iron, tin, lead, they can be concentrated by this. The another method for separation is froth flotation. Actually this method is based on just like washing of clothes. How we wash the clothes, the froth comes up, and with that some dust particles also go away with the bubbles. Okay, and others are left when you wash it with water, they drain off from your clothes. Similarly in this way, in froth flotation what happens, that the impurities, they go up in the froth, and the ore, now the concentrated ore, is left at the bottom. For that what they are having, similar as in washing machine, there is, suppose I draw it like this, there is an agitator. In that agitator means through which there is the movement of the, okay, here we put the solution, air is pumped from it, and here froth will form. Ore is left behind. Now why the froth forms? It is because there is some additive in it, that is phenol and some other additives are also used, but this is the what does this do? Actually what they will do, they will separate the impurity, they will cover the impurity like it is oil. So what will do, one will be hydrophobic and one will be hydrophilic. So the pine oil, what it will do, it will act in such a way that it will separate the impurity from the ore, and then the ethyl xanthate will act as collector and it will produce foam when the air is agitated in it. Okay, so this is the rough diagram of froth flotation, how froth flotation can be occurring. Okay, now this method is based upon the principle that is the difference in wetting properties of ore and impurities. That is, here we can see the impurity, it is not wetted by the water, it is surrounded by the oil, and then that's why it comes at the top in the form with the froth. Okay. So this is based upon the difference in the wetting properties of the ore and the impurities, because both are not wetted equally. One is wetted by water and other is wetted by oil. Okay. So in this way we can separate the ores. Now, which type of ores will be separated by this method? So we'll see the types of ores which you can separate is sulfide ores, such as PBS, CUS, FES. Okay, this was the method for the separation of sulfide ores, in which the impurities will get separated from these ores. Okay, next is magnetic separation. Now the principle upon which it is based is difference in magnetic properties of ore and impurity. Impurities is also called as gangue. Now in this case what will happen? One will be having the magnetic property while the other will be having the non-magnetic property, and due to that they will be separated. For this magnetic separation, we will see this type of wheels are there. There is a belt over it. Now this wheel is, you can say, magnetic in nature, and this is rotatory belt. Okay, yes it is. Now we keep over here impurity along with the ore. Now as the rotatory belt moves, okay, this will also move, okay? And when it will move, it will come here. What we will see, okay, in this way both the different components having different magnetic properties will be separated. So you can say this is magnetic in nature because it is attracted by the magnet and it is attached with it, and after that it falls. But the impurity, it falls before only, it is not having any effect of the magnet. Okay, so you can say this is the magnetic component of constituent. Okay, and this is non-magnetic. So in this way we can separate the magnetic and the non-magnetic constituents from the ore. This can be ore or either impurity, or this also non-magnetic can be ore or either impurity. Okay. So this method is generally used for concentration of oxide ores of iron, nickel and cobalt, which are having the magnetic properties. Okay. Ores, that is oxide ores of iron, nickel, cobalt. This was about magnetic separation. Now we have completed the concentration of ore. How can we do the dressing of ore? How can we separate the impurity from the oxide of the ores or any other substance?